Another bit of artwork for the morning. All right, I'm in Genesis 13 this morning. Now this one won't be too long, but we are studying Genesis on Monday nights. We have a family Bible study with other families. So if you're out there and you've got young children and you just want to teach them the Bible simply, learn how to read it and study it and that, then yeah, send me a message. You can come along. But we're in Genesis 13 verse 9. This is the story of Abram and Lot. They've headed out and they've begun to grow, and there starts to be an issue, verse 7, between the cattle herdsmen and that, of each of the uncle and the nephew. And now they're going to split up, and it's a division that is good. Verse 9 comes along, and this is what Abram says. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. Now I was just teaching the kids, this is a really great godly principle shown here of being content. I'm just going to go to 1 Timothy 6:6. Here we go, 1 Timothy 6, verse 6. I'll go verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds. Okay, who has a corrupt mind? Destitute of the truth. Who's destitute of the truth? Supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. I think we looked at that the other day. The prosperity gospel is not of God. But what's the verse 6? Godliness with contentment is great gain. Abram's shown here great contentment. He's not concerned with looking around and trying to get the best for himself. He's just content that if God's with him, wherever he goes, he's going to be okay. Let's have a look at what Lot does though. Verse 10. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plains of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. So what did Lot do? Abram said, you go left, I'll go right. If you go right, I'll go left. The Lord's with me, so wherever I go, I'll be okay. What did Lot do? He lifted up his eyes and began to look and to desire and to lust. And this is what the Bible calls the lust of the eyes. And this is the thing that got all of us into the mess we're in today, when Eve did the exact same thing. We'll go to Genesis chapter 3 very quick. And we know the story. God had told Adam, there's only one tree of the garden that you may not eat from. Eat from every other tree. And Satan gets Eve's mind off every other tree she's allowed to eat of, and gets her mind on the one tree that she isn't. Starts to get into lust with her eyes. Let's have a look here. And the devil says in verse 4, ye shall not surely die. And God, he says, because God knows that when your eyes shall be open, you'll be as gods. And look at verse 6 here, what Eve does. And when the woman saw with her eyes that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. See that? The start of sin was a lie. The devil challenging what God had said. Just like some of these new Bibles, I've got to just be honest with you. They put stuff down the bottom and say, oh, you know, you can leave it in or you can leave it out. Some earlier manuscripts don't have it. Did God really say it? And then after hearing the lie, the woman saw with her eyes, and that's what led to sin. And I'm just going to show you one more verse. Lot lifted up his eyes. That's what messed him up. He ended up in Sodom, and he lost his family in Sodom and Gomorrah because he went to where his eyes took him rather than sticking with the Lord. Let's go 1 John 2, 15 to 16 to finish off. 1 John 2, 15 to 16. Peter. Okay, 1 John 2, 15 to 16 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. So just be careful what you're seeing. Don't be led by what you're looking at, what pleases your flesh and your eyes. Stick with the Lord. Stick with his book. Let it guide you. And don't let your eyes bring you down to destruction. All right, have a good day. God bless you.